I used to think I was broke because I did not earn enough. Then, one Sunday, I opened my closet and counted 42 pieces of clothing and realized I actually wore about 6 of them on repeat. I opened my bathroom drawer and found 17 half-used bottles of skincare I forgot I even bought. That was the moment I stopped blaming my paycheck and started looking at my habits. If you have ever looked around your own room and felt a strange mix of guilt and confusion about where your money went, stay with me because the next 4 minutes might change how you spend for the rest of your life. My mother once asked me a simple question after I had been working for almost 3 years. She asked how much money I had saved. I froze because the honest answer was almost nothing. I told her I was earning well, but somehow nothing stuck. That answer haunted me for weeks because deep down, I already knew where the money was going. It was going into my closet. It was going into my bathroom drawer. It was going into shopping carts at midnight when I could not sleep. But here is the twist. Within one single year, I turned that around completely and saved more money than I ever thought possible on the exact same income. Everything shifted when I started asking myself one question before every single purchase. Do I need this, or do I simply want this? Need means my daily life is genuinely disrupted without it. My phone charger breaking is a need. Want means life continues just fine without it, and I am only chasing a feeling. A sixth lipstick in almost the same shade is a want. When I finally admitted that almost everything in my cart was a want dressed up as a need, I felt embarrassed. But that embarrassment is exactly what saved me thousands of dollars. Keep watching because the next rule is even more powerful. Here is a rule so simple you will think it cannot possibly work. Anytime you want something, add it to your cart and then close the app. Do not buy it. Wait 48 hours. If you still want it after 2 full days, then, and only then, allow yourself to purchase it. When I started doing this, I noticed something shocking. About 80% of the things I added to my cart were completely forgotten within 24 hours. My brain had already moved on. The craving was never about the product. It was a passing spark that felt urgent for exactly one evening and then vanished. This next part is the one that truly rewired my brain. I calculated my actual hourly wage after taxes. Once I had that number, I stopped looking at prices in dollars and started looking at them in hours of my life. A pair of shoes costing around $120 suddenly meant nearly a full day of work. A fancy dinner out suddenly meant several hours standing on my feet, earning that exact amount. Try this with your own paycheck right now. Divide your monthly income by the hours you actually work. That single number will make impulse spending feel completely different from this point forward. Every purchase has a second invisible price tag that almost nobody mentions. Buying a new jacket is never just the jacket. It is the new shoes that suddenly have to match. It is the extra hanger space you do not have. It is the laundry time and the mental clutter of owning one more thing to organize. Buying a gadget is never just the gadget. It is the storage it needs and the charger cable and the subscription it quietly nudges you toward later. Once I started counting these hidden costs, I realized a huge number of my purchases were not worth it, even before I paid a single cent. Let me tell you about one specific night, because this is the moment that proved the whole system actually works. I was scrolling late and found a limited time deal on a kitchen gadget that promised to change my mornings forever. My thumb was literally hovering over the buy button. Instead, I forced myself to add it to the cart and close the app the way I had trained myself to do. 2 days later, I opened that card again and felt nothing. No excitement, no urgency, just a slightly confused feeling of, why did I almost spend $60 on that? That gap between the midnight version of me and the calm version of me 2 days later is where most of my old spending used to live. By living through these 3 questions for 12 straight months, my entire relationship with money flipped. I set up an automatic transfer so that the moment my paycheck landed, a portion of it disappeared into a separate savings account before I could even see it. I stopped mindlessly spending $300 or $400 a month on things I could not even remember buying weeks later. By the end of the year, I had saved an amount that genuinely shocked me considering my income never changed. I did not switch jobs. I did not get a raise. I did not pick up a side hustle. The math was never about earning more. It was about where the leaks were happening, and I finally found every single one of them. Once those leaks were closed, the saving almost took care of itself without me having to white-knuckle through every single day. Now let me be completely clear about something important, because this is not about becoming a person who never spends money again. I still replaced my phone last year because my old one was genuinely slowing down my work. I still took 2 trips because travel is something that truly adds meaning to my life. Saving money was never about deprivation. It was about redirecting money away from things that quietly drained me and toward things that actually mattered to me. The goal was never a smaller life. The goal was a more honest one. The real definition of saving money. Here is the truth almost nobody tells you about saving money. It has very little to do with how much you earn and everything to do with how intentionally you spend. Someone earning a high salary can still live paycheck to paycheck if every purchase is driven by impulse. Someone on a modest income can build real savings simply by closing the gap between wanting and needing. Saving is not a punishment. It is simply honesty, translated into your bank account. Once I understood that one idea, the entire game of personal finance, became so much clearer to me. The honest reason I was buying things. If I am being fully honest with you, the way I want you to be honest with yourself. A lot of what I used to buy was never really about the item at all. It was about posting a photo. It was about feeling like my life looked exciting from the outside. It was about filling a quiet emptiness I did not want to sit with. Real security is not a closet full of unopened boxes. It is opening your banking app and feeling calm instead of anxious. It is not flinching when your card gets declined by mistake, because you actually know your numbers. That feeling is worth more than any limited time discount will ever be. So here is exactly what I want you to do starting today. Before your very next purchase, pause for 3 seconds and ask yourself one simple question. Do I actually need this, or do I simply want this right now? That one habit alone will outperform almost every budgeting course you could ever pay for. If this video actually opened your eyes even a little bit, make sure you are subscribed, because we break down real practical money habits like this every single week. I will see you in the next one.